Hi guys, thanks for watching the video. Today I tried baking a bread with different types of milk and water. I aimed at 65% of the water content in each dough, so only the amount of liquid I put in is different. The dough doesn't stick to the work surface too much, and that makes it easy to knead. It's difficult to come together and a bit soggy at first, but the more you knead, the dough comes together better and becomes easier to work with. The dough feels a bit solid and rough and lumpy, even though you need to still think about the water content of any liquid that you use. Regarding the soy milk, you can add more than the amount you calculate with the baker's percentage. The smell of the soy is weak and you don't really feel it. The smell of the almond is enhancing. The dough itself works like the water dough, just smells very different. There's a lot of fat in the milk, so the dough turns out really sticky and difficult to work with. It starts coming together eventually, and it becomes very stretchy and the most satisfying tenderness of all the dough I made. It's easy to knead through to the end. It's not sticky at all and didn't smell yogurt, but maybe because of the amount. Dough rolls is equally big, but the yogurt dough was a bit smaller than others, as the proofing time was a bit less, I reckon, so I don't think it's because of the yogurt itself. The soy milk dough wasn't elastic. It didn't start to stretch as much as other dough. The yogurt dough was a bit solid and looks like acid inhibits from making gluten. Oh, sorry, it's burnt a little bit. Overall, I think by stretchiness, the more fat is in liquid, the dough becomes stretchier but the more difficult to come together and stop sticking to a surface. If you are going to work with coconut milk or fatter liquid, you might need to try less of the liquid as well as butter or oil. The almond milk, soy milk, and yogurt have 2.4 to 3.7 grams of fat. On the other hand, milk and cocoa milk have 7.5 grams and 17.7 grams of fat in each, so I think the fat plays a huge role in whether the dough becomes sticky and stretchy or not. The less the fat is in the liquid, the more solid and rough the dough feels, but the more the fat is, the more difficult to work. By the softness, cocoa bread was the most fluffy, softy texture, and turned out the soy milk bread was as soft as the milk bread. I'll explain all the bread I made. Water bread is normal and yeasty and the second fluffiest bread of all. The next, regular milk bread mitigates the yeast flavor, so it should go well with the sweet filling. If you want it to be as soft as water, you should add butter or use heavy milk instead. Soy milk bread turned out as the same texture as regular milk bread and smells less yeast and surprisingly no soy flavor at all. So if you are allergic to milk or whatever, it's a good alternative. Almond milk bread turned out a bit fluffy and water dough-like texture, and also I need to say you can feel a bit of almond flavor and a hint of almond smell. I think it goes well with babka or any other chocolatey bread. Cocoa bread. This is my favorite and the fluffiest bread of all. It has very strong cocoa flavor, so it might be a good idea to try eating curry with the bread instead of naan. And finally, yogurt bread. The taste of yogurt coming through, and the combination of yogurt and butter is weirdly good. I can't explain how, but sourness and buttery flavors are a good match. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this video helps you bake better. Bye bye!